All right. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for making time in your busy schedule to be with us today. Today, we'll go and look at the great innovation that was introduced in the Vancouver release for our ITSM and DevOps products. Feel free to use the Q&A for your questions. Make sure to share your thoughts and how you like the products or the features that will be showcased with you today in the chat. The group is large, so the session is recorded, but it's a webinar. Please make sure to use the capability to communicate. All right, next, safe harbor notice. So the session today will cover only Vancouver, being the session being a public session. We do not know who has NDAs and who doesn't have NDAs, so we will limit the features to what's now available in the Vancouver release as of the September code drop. If you are a customer, you're familiar with the safe harbor. If you are a prospect or someone from the community interested in what's coming in the Vancouver release, the safe harbor statement is there to remind you not to base any purchasing decisions on future-looking statements. It also covers me for some of the features I may highlight that are coming in future release as well. All right, so for those of you who are familiar with us, you know that we release two major family releases every year. The current release that just happened in September is called Vancouver. You know that we name our cities after cities, or release after cities, I should say. It's very early here where I'm based in Europe, so sorry if I stumble on my words. And in Vancouver, some of the key features and capabilities we will be looking at, obviously, are the Now Assist for ITSM, our flagship products for ITSM in this release. We'll also go into a lot more details about recommended action, the Microsoft Teams, what's new, the service operation workspace, etc. Yes, for the questions, the recording will be shared on community after this session. Yes, perfect. Thank you. Sorry, I just went backwards, trying to monitor everything that's happening at the same time. Okay, so let's start with generative AI. So for those of you who are familiar with our Knowledge events at Knowledge in May 2023, we announced our generative AI controller. This is now available, general availability for all of our customers with the proper subscription. The generative AI controller can be added into your workflows or the virtual agents to infuse generative AIs based on large language models such as ChatGPT or Azure ChatGPT. So this is something that has been made available as part of the general availability as part of the Vancouver bill. With generative AI, some of the solutions we've been building is really helping every employee in the organization using ServiceNow, be it the service owner, the agent, or the employees. And with that, I'll show you some of the innovation that we are bringing, leveraging Gen AI, starting first with Employee Center and the virtual agent, really helping the employees self-serve. What the generative AI will do here is what we call summarization of your search results and your intent that the employee may ask into the global search. And so basically what it does, it looks at multiple knowledge articles and incident and summarizes what are the potential action that the employee should take in order to solve their issues that they are encountering at that very moment. The generative AI model looks at not just the knowledge article with, so for those of you who are familiar with Now Assist will give you a genius card of the knowledge article that is available there. What generative AI does on top of it is summarize the actual content, making it easier for the employees to solve their issues themselves. Another area where summarization is being used is in the handover from a virtual agent chat to a live agent chat. This is often an area of friction between the end user and the agent taking over the chat, where the person agent starts asking exactly the same question as the virtual agent had already asked. So with the summarization, we're giving the analyst taking over the call a list of what the virtual agent has already asked, where they are in the resolution, really helping getting to know what the interaction was all about and having a more effective communication with the end users rather than asking pretty much the same questions that can have been asked already by the virtual agent. So again, that simplifies that communication, really enhance the employee experience. And with that, we expect mean time to resolve to be reduced significantly. Another area where summarization is being used, very similar to what we saw in the agent chat handover, is when an actual record is transferred from one assignment group to the next, or even within the same assignment group to a different assignee. So being able to summarize what has happened on the incident really helps the analyst or the technician taking over that incident, the information that they need to be able to resolve it faster. That's a lot easier than looking at all of the activity notes and trying to ping the people that have worked on the incident before to know what has happened. So summarization will bring the highlights of what has been taken and what are the recommended action for resolution steps. The next area where generative AI is being used is on the creation of on the resolution code and the resolution notes. This is an area where very many technician and service desk analysts are perhaps not as diligent as we would like them from a process perspective to be. And, many of you may have, I know that I'm guilty of it myself, to have written job done or something similar in the resolution note rather than describing the steps that I've taken to resolve the issue. So what the generative AI will do is actually summarize what has happened. And of course, before you save it and publish it to the ticket, as a technician, a service desk technician or agent, you're able to review the resolution and make sure that it is correct before it's saved to the ticket. So again, really helping agents to adhere to the best practices that our process people want us to have on the first level support. Definitely increases productivity. And with that, again, it enriches the knowledge so that we can actually use these resolutions to make it a lot easier for agents to solve similar incidents in the future. So Now Assist will also come with a panel on the service operation workspace. And in that panel, at any point in time, an agent or first level technician will be able to ask questions to the generative AI large language model, and the large language model will be able to provide additional information to help the agent solve the issue. So again, it's very easy to access. It's context aware, so it basically the large language model will help answer in the context of the actual incident. It will help the technician or the agent on the service desk to reduce the time spent on the task, and should basically save a lot of time and effort on being able to have these answers at their fingertips. So this is basically what we have currently in as part of the September code drop on GenAI. As part of the November code drop, because with generative AI, we are dropping through the store every quarter. We're adding to the generative AI solution the knowledge generation. So this is something that we already have to be able to create knowledge gap that's then assigned to a knowledge manager. So with generative AI large language model, what we're going to be able to do is to, for an agent, if we know that we have a knowledge gap, or if we know that we should write a knowledge article based on how that incident was resolved, we're able to create that knowledge article. Again, in terms of workflow, it is drafted in a draft mode, and based on the workflow behind, should be assigned to a knowledge manager to review the accuracy, to test that it's appropriate to the audience that they want to publish, and then publish the article as it is. So again, if you already have a knowledge workflow behind, that knowledge workflow is respected. If you don't have a knowledge workflow and you do wish to publish directly based on that, this is also possible.
Hey, Natalie, there are a couple of questions on whether they are available. The GenAI is available within ITSM or standard. Do you want to make any comments on the subscription?
So generative AI will require a separate subscription. So for any details, sorry about this one, for any details on the subscription, please talk to your ServiceNow representative. So yeah, so it's an additional subscription. Is the resolution notes visible to the caller? So yes, so it depends. So at the moment they're written in the resolution notes that will be published and visible. But again, depending on what your field and UI actions are, it will be respected. So, but yes, these are the resolution notes that becomes visible to the end users, not just the work notes. Can we please get the recording? So yes, afterwards the recorded session and a PDF version of this deck will be available on the community. Any other in the chat I need to be aware of?
I think the only question was in chat about the service operation workspace. The chat summarization feature is available in service operation workspace or not as part of ITSM standard.
So the chat summarization, everything that's generative AI is an additional subscription. So again, talk to your, it's not available to ITSM standard customers. So you need to buy the additional subscription, which we call ITSM Pro Plus, that includes the generative AI.
So since you're taking question, there is another question posted on Q&A. Is the end user aware of the resolution notes being generated by the AI?
Yes. So everything
Yes.
that's generated by AI will be will have the watermark of powered by Now Assist. That will be the watermark. So you see it. So AI. So here you have the AI generated text. Let me just go back to my previous slide on the resolution notes. It will always have field updated by Now Assist will be there. So the watermark will be there every time Gen AI is leveraged. Okay, so let's talk about service operation workspace enhancements. Let's move off generative AI. Okay, the first thing on the service operation workspace is so for those of you who are familiar, in Tokyo, we released the admin center with adoption blueprints. Some of the key enhancement we've done for the service operation workspace, we've added a guided experience for that in what we call the admin onboarding experience with the service operation workspace. It's a homepage with all of the information that you need to facilitate the onboarding of transitioning from the classic UI to the service operation workspace. And so this is where anything you need to know about adding your AI search, how to connect to Microsoft Teams, or to use advanced work assignments, all of that capabilities that are there to really enrich your service operation workspace. We now have that guided experience, as well as access to some of the community videos and other documentation that might help you to get started on that transition from classic UI 16 to or the ITSM agent workspace to the service operation workspace. Okay, next, one of the features that was available in Classic UI that was not available yet in Next Experience is the guided tour. So now guided tours have been added to the service operation workspace. And so if you need some guided tours, you can actually activate them in the service operation workspace. And guided tour is there to it's been around for very, very many releases already. If you're familiar with products like WalkMe, basically the guided tour is our own proprietary WalkMe experience, where you can actually guide your end users as to what are the steps that they need to fill in a form, making it a lot easier for them to get to learn about your process and the mandatory fields that are there, as well as you can use that as well in the other part of the platform for your analysts, making sure that they are aware, especially for onboarding, makes it a lot easier for them to learn about the platform, the capabilities that that you want them to fill in to really help with the learning of your process as they go along. We've added task intelligence and recommended actions. So for those of you familiar with the recommendation frameworks or machine learning capability to make recommendations, we are upgrading that model or changing the technology underlying our recommendation to bring it into what we call now the recommended action. And that's powered by task intelligence, making it a lot easier to configure the ML and the configuration that are required to get those recommended action. And then, over time, we will deprecate the recommendation frameworks to leverage the recommended action instead. And then again, with AI, with machine learning, the underlying technology evolves very quickly. So leveraging the latest of the technology that we bring to you, this is where we're going to see some changes there. So recommended action is the new way of doing recommendation within ServiceNow. So again, this console makes it a lot easier, and it's available in the service operation workspace, makes it a lot easier to configure your recommended actions for your agents. One of the key features that's coming in, I think that's going to be super powerful, is what we call embedded collaboration. It starts with, for those of you who are familiar with our Microsoft Teams integration, it's continued to be there. But what we're doing is extending the framework. Some of our customers are using more than one way of communicating to their end users. So what we've done is creating a sidebar chat where you can start a conversation, be it in Microsoft Teams, Zoom, WebEx, or Twilio for sending SMSs. With that, again, you would actually bring the people that you need into the call, and then you can start that actual call with your participant. Also, really making it a lot easier to collaborate on a ticket, as well as interacting with your end users when that is needed. So in this case, we are bringing these participants in the Microsoft Teams. Many of you are familiar with that, but also we can, bring it into other platforms such as WebEx, Zoom, or Twilio, as I mentioned. We also have, sorry about these things. I don't know. I thought I'd stop all this. One of the things that we've added as well is the sidebar communication to really help communication with the end users, especially if we need to have an approval to actually proceed with one of the tasks in the standard operating procedure. So that's sidebar. These are the enhancements within the service operation workspace. And I think this one is going to be a very big one. I think many of our customers will benefit greatly on the extension of the capability. And of course, one of the things that's coming into the future that will be available as of the Washington release in Q1 2024 is the major incident. So all of these embedded collaborations are preparation for the major incident management coming up into the next release. Any questions on that before I proceed? Is there a plan?
There is a question.
Yeah, thank you, Tutu. Is there a plan? Are there plans to support Slack for embedded collaboration? No, at this point, we're not investing in Slack or making any investment in that plugin. You will receive, for all of you who have registered for the session today, you will receive the URL of the session today after this call. Okay, so what else is there? Okay, so in DevOps, one of the capability we've added is the GitHub action. So we've extended the framework. So for those of you who are familiar, we've had Azure DevOps for a while, as well as Jenkins, GitLab, and many others. So now we're including GitHub Actions as the offering, as many of our customers are using GitHub Actions at the moment. And again, basically, it's using the same framework, all the great things that we can do with DevOps change velocity. We're able to do it with GitHub Actions now. And then one of the other things we've added for the DevSecOps, and that's continuing to build on our DevOps capability, is now we have a single data model for our DevOps tool as well as our SecOps tools. And with that, we are able to offer the DevSecOps capability. So we've added Veracode as an out-of-the-box DevOps change velocity integration. And we will have more of those coming up soon. So if you're interested in DevSecOps, please let us know, and we'll continue to work with you to ensure that we build the integration that are relevant. Another area where we've added improvements, not necessarily related to ITSM, but related to many users of our ITSM product is in our CMDB. We've added a unified map view for the CMDB. So for many of you, you may actually be familiar with the service map view or the dependency view. So the unified map view combines both the dependency view and the service map view into one, which allows you to have greater filtering capability onto your dependencies within the CMDB. Of course, this is a powerful tool to visualize your CMDB data and making it a lot easier for service owners or for technicians working on a ticket to be able to have access to some of the details in the service maps. Okay, so what's new in Microsoft 365? So with our partnership with Microsoft continued to be strong. And one of the things we've bringing Microsoft Teams integration, we know that we are facilitating the adoption of our ITSM or ServiceNow product by reaching the employees where they are working in Microsoft Teams. So what we've done as part of our partnership with Microsoft is to increase the access of the Employee Center into other Microsoft apps, including Outlook and Microsoft 365. Again, the strategy with Microsoft is to bring ServiceNow to where the employees work, and our partnership with Microsoft allows us to bring the Employee Center in more than just Microsoft Teams. Again, very similar to how you would bring the Microsoft Teams, the Employee Center in Microsoft Teams. It's the same manifest that we're publishing for whether we want it to be published in Outlook or Microsoft 365. So it's the same manifest that we're bringing, again, for the administrator, really simplifying this experience. All of that is available in the Admin Center and making it a lot easier for the ServiceNow administrator to add these capabilities. In our ITSM Enterprise products, we have renamed our process optimization to process mining. So it's the same product. And of course, we've added some capabilities or enhanced some of the capabilities in the machine learning behind it. But basically, the biggest change is the name, calling it process mining. What it is actually, as customers were not, or the feedback that we were receiving from the field is that process optimization was not resonating with our customers, but process mining is the term that is used in the market for the capabilities that we were bringing as part of the process optimization. So we've renamed the product, and of course we've added some minor enhancements, the machine learning models behind. And then, of course, what process mining does is really expose process inefficiencies, such as all of the rework, the ping pong, the extra step in improvement in the process that you can actually create improvement initiatives and really help streamline and reduce any of the manual work that are involved in it. What we've also done is making process mining available as part of the Success Dashboard. So the Success Dashboard was introduced in San Diego, so a few releases ago already. And as part of the Tokyo and Utah release, we've added the benchmark data. So if you're also opted into benchmark, we are now able to see the benchmark insights available into the service, into the Success Dashboard. Now with the Vancouver release, we're adding the process insights. So if you are utilizing the process mining capabilities, we're also bringing it into the service dashboard. So as a service owner, you have all of the data points at your fingertips, being able to work on particular KPIs and be able to drill down and using process mining to see how you could actually improve some of these KPIs as well. We look at the question.
Yeah, there's a question in the Q&A on the dependency map and service map view.
Yeah, so no, we're not deprecating neither the dependency view or service map view. So all of them are gonna remain there. The unified map view is an additional layer, giving you more filtering capabilities. So, but no, there's no plan to deprecate the other two, not at this point, at least.
Thanks. There is a question in the chat window. Is embedded collaboration in SOW have improved features with ITSM standard license?
Embedded collaboration in SOW will be able to say, so the framework is there. You can use it with ITSM standard. Yes, that's correct. You can use, but keep in mind that not all capabilities. So the call function, for instance, in Microsoft Teams is possible on ITSM standard, but other things such as actionable action are not available because they depend on pro capabilities. So keep in mind that some of the capabilities that are available in pro and enterprise are not available in standard, but the call out, embedded collaboration call out through Twilio, WebEx, and Zoom and Microsoft Teams will be available in standard. I hope that answer was clear. Okay, so that's actionable insight. Again, in our enterprise portfolio, we've added for our workforce optimization the capability to add kudos, so making it a lot easier to thank your peers, your people you've collaborated with on an incident to resolve faster. You're able to send them a kudos for thank you for help, making it a lot easier to recognize the work of other people in solving issues. Again, that's dependent on the workforce optimization product to have that to be able to leverage these capabilities. Workforce optimization is a very complex, a very complete solution for managing your people and people on shift transfer, etc. So we've done session on workforce optimization before here on Live on ServiceNow. So make sure to go back and see some of these sessions. So this is a new capability that we're adding to this product called Workforce Optimization. And that capability is just to add those kudos to your teammates. Okay, so I've added a couple of platform capability, which I thought they're not really ITSM, they're really part of the platform, which I thought many of our customers would be interested in. I hope you find that useful as well. The first one is to be able to do, and that's for our all the ServiceNow administrators on the call will probably like that, is to be able to quickly identify PII data. So very often many customers are asking us, how do I prevent PII data to be within ServiceNow? How can I find it? And so basically the ServiceNow data discovery is a package product that's part to all of our customers using ServiceNow. And they will be able to, as a ServiceNow system administrators activating this product, you'll be able to identify your PII data and be able to protect accordingly and mask it accordingly. That's, of course, to help our customers and ServiceNow system administrators to really be able to identify where there may be issue with compliance with GDPR, CCPA, or the Australia Privacy Act, and really help in minimizing some of the risk associated with that. So some of the people that are interested in that, you may want to bring that to their attention, is, of course, any people working on risk and compliance, and the ServiceNow administrators who need to actually answer some of these questions as to whether ServiceNow contains PII data for your organization. Another capability that's part of the platform that the system administrators are often asked is being able to see who has access to what into the platform. And this is where the ServiceNow Access Analyzer is going to help you. So again, available as part of this admin center for ServiceNow administrators, will really help all of your being able to give the visibility to the configuration changes, to make sure who has access to what to the groups, and that proper access is required to some of the data that may be in ServiceNow. So something that often is being asked to system administrators is who has access to the HR data that is in ServiceNow. So the ServiceNow Access Analyzer is going to help them making sure that they can answer those questions. So again, these are platform capabilities that have been added. They're not going to make it into the headlines of the Vancouver broadcast, but I thought it would be interesting for many of our customers perhaps attending this call today. And definitely a lot of system administrators are being asked these questions. So hopefully you find these capabilities useful for your roles and helping you do your role. With that, these are all of the existing capabilities. Let me just go and have another look at the chat or the Q&A. There's no questions. So that's
no question as such this time.
Okay, so if you have any questions, please drop in into the Q&A. So what I have added to this deck, I won't go through in all of the details, but what we have is a list of all of the major and minor enhancement. And of course, all of these is just to give them an easy access to what's new in ITSM and DevOps, and allows you to then go to the actual release notes or the capability, the Vancouver capability within the documentation site, helping you hopefully to have a preview of everything that's new. So we know that we've done a lot of enhancement on service operation workspace with the embedded collaboration, with the admin experience and recommended action. We've done, as I mentioned, the process mining insight on success dashboard, the benchmarking of top performer on the customers. These are some of the capabilities that I may not have talked about that will come in, and you have all of the minor enhancement as well. So I haven't talked about the minor enhancement into the digital portfolio, for instance, and basically what you will be able to see here are all of these enhancements. There's about 15 pages of those. Should be keeping you, giving you an insight of what doesn't make it into the broadcast of any of the release broadcasts that we have. I hope this session was useful. Again, I'm here for a few more minutes, so feel free to drop in your questions into the chat or the Q&A. As we always do, please make sure to leverage our Live on ServiceNow. This is where the team is trying to bring sessions every week to all of our existing ITSM customers, all of the new features, as well as making sure we answer some of your questions as to, how do we get better value out of performance analytics, or how do I get started with a virtual agent, or how do I boost my AI search? All of these, we've done sessions before, and we're going to continue to do sessions like those until the end of the year. So make sure to go in on our community page on Live on ServiceNow to see what's been done and what's coming in the future events.